Today on Crow's Garage, I'm going to be doing some things to the daily. Got a 2007 Ford Explorer recently. Just need some things fixed on it. There'll be some stuff in the future. I'm not sure if I've covered on this channel or not, since this isn't necessarily the car that the channel is dedicated to covering. I had to fix, yesterday I fixed the rear sway bar end link bushings. Those were loose, causing a bunch of rattling noises. Obviously the rear sway bars weren't hooked up, so the car was like body rolling pretty bad. So I got that fixed yesterday. Today we're going to be fixing the radio, replacing the taillight bulb, and then eventually I need to do the actual taillight housings because they're both cracked and jacked up. And then brakes and rotors and the oil pan gasket leak. The lower oil pan is leaking on this. It's the V6, so I'm going to go ahead and replace that. It's got 232,000 miles on it, so actually it's in really nice condition for the age and the mileage that it's in. I was able to pick it up pretty cheap, especially in today's market. I was able to get it for a really good deal, so yeah, go ahead and get started. I think I'm gonna start with the radio. What I have to do with that is this display isn't showing anything. And I've been doing some research online, and they say that you should reflow the resistors that are on the back of this display. So I'll try my hand at that. If I break it, it's already broke, so there's not much I can do about it anyway. I do plan on eventually throwing in a double-din touchscreen dash with Apple CarPlay and a backup cam and everything, just that way I have it. And what I'll be using this thing for is to get to work daily, because believe it or not, this box going down the road gets better fuel mileage than Krow does. So Krow gets like 10 to 12. If I'm being really nice, it gets 14 going to work. Whereas this gets 18 and takes the cheap stuff. So it's better mileage per dollar, if you will. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get started on the radio. Alright, so I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing, so we're gonna just start pulling on panels and see what happens. So I think all these are, oh, easy. I don't want to break these plastic clips. I think I need to remove Ford and their engineering. I think I need to remove this panel to remove this panel down here to get this off. I got the clips off on this, but it's not coming out because I think this is clipped into this and it's just in the way. So let me grab some screwdrivers. Got me a screwdriver. Okay. I have probably some screws in these little dealimabobs over here, maybe. Hello? I said, come on. Help me. What? What do you want? Get out of there. I've never. Where are you? Just a plastic. Yeah, you're just a what's a just a plastic clip. There we go. Oh god, that broke stuff. Sort of. I think there was a screw in there before. Okay, next. Oh, this one looks like it'll be fun. Oh god. I just stabbed the shit out of it. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. There we go. Okay. Now the shifter. I don't know. Yeah, that's a separate deal. Oh. Ew. That needs cleaned. Okay, it looks like this is just gonna. It's on. Okay. Okay, probably. Be right back. I gotta get the key so I can move the shifter out of the way. Keyage. Just get that completely out of the way. Okay. Easy. What's that button for? Huh. Okay. Well, shoot you back in the car. Take the key out so you keep dinging at me. Okay, looks like we've got maybe 4 8mm bolts. Oh, that's gone into the abyss. Never mind, I got it. Found it. What size are you? Don't know. The right one. Don't let me forget that I put that there, okay? Ah! I'm being attacked. It's hot. It's like 100 degrees out here today. Move to Vegas, it'll be fun. Bless me. Would you come out? What are you doing? Huh. Huzzah! Hey, little buddy. Looks like this might have been worked on already before. Okay, radio. I am going to go ahead and disconnect all this and take this out to the bench inside where it's cool and where I have my precision tools. So radio's out. We're going to go ahead and go to the bench and see what we got going on. And if I break it, well, it's already been broken, so what are you going to do about it? Okay, I'll be back. Okay, well, I was hoping for better light than this, but it is what it is. Let's see here. So you're going to need a precision set of screwdrivers, or set of bits. These are, screws are, looks like T10s. So you'll need a Torx bit size 10 to undo the screws to get the radio off, or to get the display off the radio. There's 4 of them, 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom. them off. I'm gonna stick them in a rag here so I don't lose them. Again, sorry about the light. Oh, actually, what am I doing? I've got sunlight. I don't know why I did that earlier. There we go. Take these 4 out and it'll. Top 2 are right there, and you can see the other one there on the other side. Is where they'll be. And then you have those little clips that you just saw that you also need to take off. But you got to take off these, or that you'll need to get the plastic over. You need to get the plastic over on those clips, not. And I'm just trying this. I mean, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I want to be able to see what station and what time it is when I'm in my car. So. Oh, looks like it's just bend down. Anyway. And honestly, I wouldn't bend these back up because the screws hold them in. I don't really think it's that big of a deal to have these tabs bent out of the way. There is a little connector, so you need to make sure you come off straight. I don't know if you see that little connector there by my ring finger. Yeah, it looks like this has probably been worked on already. So, get that right over the side here. Okay, so the 4, so it could be multiple things, but what I've seen online is a lot of people say the big one is these 4 resistors here, those bigger ones that I'm pointing at, and then these 2 resistors over here could also be your problem. They say to just reflow them, meaning just kind of get the solder hot, let it reflow and reconnect. I might dab a little bit of solder in there while I'm in there, just to see what happens. Another thing, and that might be my issue actually, is these pins. So if you look on the, well, I can't really take this. Well, I'd have to take the whole board apart. I don't feel like doing that. But these pins here, this row of pins, these are the pins that go to the display. So these could also need reflowed. Those 2 in the corner, these 2 in the corner, these 2 in the corner, and then the row. They could need reflowed. I'm not gonna do that because those are really close together. And I've never soldered before, so we'll see how this goes. Probably poorly. So I'm gonna plug this in, let it get warm, and go from there. So I'm gonna go ahead and try reflowing these, see what happens. Always make sure you're in a well ventilated area. Go ahead and unplug it. Well, we'll see. See how that does there. I don't know if it's focusing on that or not. Not the greatest solder job, but I mean, it's already broke, so if I damaged it further, then that, you know, it just is what it is. So I'm letting that cool off. I'll go ahead and go install this. I'm going to shut the door in here so that way the cats don't get in and burn themselves. All right. Okay. Alright, so I got the radio here. I haven't put the screws back in the display or nothing yet. I just want to go ahead and test it, see if this worked. So we're going to go ahead and plug our connectors back in and see if we get light. Hey! I'm going to go ahead and put these screws back in. Now before we get to screwing, I want to make sure all the connectors are secure and do a little test on the radio. Oh my god, that's so loud. AM, FM.
This world that will.
Okay, I don't want to get copyright strike there, so we're going to go ahead and shut that off before. And I know my tire sensors are faulted. Yeah, I just need to do that. I got pulled over earlier today. And told me to replace the bulbs, and he wouldn't make me worry about having to deal with the ticket. So I'm going to do that. That way. There's 2 bolts holding these in. One's 8, one's 10. Top one being 10. And you just kind of slide them out diagonally from the body to get them out. I need to replace these 2 housings because one of them's actually cracked completely apart. I guess the sun maybe or something cracked it, and I don't know if it got a bump or something, but it completely blew out the housing over there, so I gotta replace one of those. At some point. This one's cracked too, so it's like on its way to doing the same thing, so honestly I should probably just replace both. Yeah, it looks like that one was already replaced one time because this was an old cop car. And you can see that this one has like this extra wire here. This is for their lights. The people I bought it from said it was the second owner, so I don't know if like it was made to be a cop car and the department just like never actually purchased it, or what. I could have also just been like, I don't know. I didn't pull a Carfax, so it just runs good. That's all I know. So we're gonna go ahead and replace the bulb, but yeah, it's got cop lights in it. Just kind of want to get that sorted out. So I'll be buying new housings for these. That way, they all look good. All right, you guys. Let me know if that works. Well, did it work? Okay, good. All right, thanks. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and play some musical cars so I can get that ground cable installed on the Camaro. I may just have a bad battery, or I might have something that's draining it. The other day, if you look at the channel A Man and Dandism, I don't know if he has his name on the channel or not, so I'm not gonna say his name. But he is a friend of mine. We went out and did a trip over to Lake Mead and drove some roads down there. When we got done with one of the drives through one of the twisty roads, I shut off the car to let it cool off, and it wouldn't start back up. It acted like the battery was weak. Buddy had jump cables. We hooked up the jumpers and let it charge for a few minutes, and then I was able to start it again. So I don't know if it's a bad battery. A lot of people say it's a bad ground. These things are infamous for having bad grounds. So we're gonna go ahead and add another cable from I don't know if I want to put it underneath the car. A lot of people, what they do is they'll take it and they'll put it on the bolt on the starter, but I don't really feel like messing with those because I've seen people strip starter bolts. I don't want to deal with that because then you gotta like do fucking all thread, and no, not on that car. So I may take off a bell housing bolt and do it that way. They say it doesn't really matter if it's on the starter. I think people were saying that they use like plastic shims from the factory or something. I don't know if that's true. I haven't looked under the car yet. So it's out there. You guys can't see it. It's all blown out. Can't see nothing. Anyway, I'll pull in the Camaro and see where I want to put that ground cable. I'm thinking from the passenger side head, where there's like an idler pulley deal that bolts up there. Thinking from there to the strut tower bar, because that has threads that go into the body. So we'll see about doing that. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. I'm going to take a look. But right now we're going to play musical cars. I'll get the Camaro pulled in, pull this out there, and then dance the Camaro around into the middle. So we'll do that. Time lapse. I'm gonna go ahead and take a break for a minute and let the headers cool off on this, because I might be down there putting that ground cable next to the headers, and the headers got hot just by that 30 seconds of driving around in the driveway. So anyway, I will be back. You guys won't see it. It'll be like a second. So 1, 2. So got our cable here. Thinking about, I don't know if you guys will see it or not. Thinking about going from this idler pulley bracket. That's a lot of cable. No, it's usually something to cable damage. So I'm going from here. Up. Down to the mount there. So yeah, no big deal. Remove that there. Oh man. Oh, okay, this thing. Woo! So I got this cable at O'Reilly's. This is just a, I want to say it's a 40-inch long cable. So yeah, I'm just gonna do that and bolt it to the motor there. And give myself something around with. we'll see if that does anything. I don't know. Like I said, a lot of people add into the bell housing. I didn't feel like crawling underneath there today. I mean, the bolt that they put it on down there in the, oh, you guys can't see me at all. The bolt that they put it on down there on the body is kind of the same deal where it's like a threaded insert on the body. So I can't imagine that this would be any worse per se. So, yeah, I mean, it looks like you do all right. So go ahead and fire it up. See if it cranks any better. I don't think I'll probably notice a difference, but we'll see. So there was a bit of a difference there. Usually what it would charge at is like, there's like a built-in voltmeter on this thing, on the heads-up display, or not heads-up display, but the in the cluster. Before it would sit at like, you guys can't see me again. Before it would sit at like 13.5 or whatever when it was running, and now it's sitting up at 14.2. So I don't know if that's technically overcharging the system or what, but seems like it's got a better ground now, so hopefully that resolves some of those starter issues. If that doesn't, a lot of times too with these long tube headers, they'll heat soak those starters and that'll cause a weak start. So I just need to do that anyway. This engine bay gets really hot, especially here in Vegas. So I'll probably in the future heat wrap the headers and probably replace the battery as well while we're there. Trying to think of what else I was going to do to it. So what the future plan is going to be pro charging this. And I just need to do porting the intake and the heads first though, because I'd like to see what I can make with an NA on the 85 with like a quote unquote max effort build. I know it's probably not like the most financially like smart thing to do, I guess, like for power, because you could just turn up the boost on a pro tractor and make more power anyway. But you know, I'm just curious as to how much I would gain off of that, because when the car got tuned in Illinois, it sat at like 400, it sat 482 to the wheel or something like that. With us being in a higher altitude density here and it going down, my premium's now 91, so I'm probably sitting around 450, somewhere around there because of the air and the fuel. So when I get to E85 and I do the heads and intake porting, I'm hopefully looking to make around like right at 500, maybe 510 if I'm lucky. So that dyno that I was on too was also super stingent. So one of the dyno at HPJ Performance out there in Belleville apparently just reads lower than most, so it wasn't a very I don't know what to say, like didn't give higher numbers than it should. So hopefully this will make about 500 to 510 when I'm done with it. That way, and plus any parts you bolt on NA is just going to make it flow that much better for boost anyhow. So there'll be power gains there. I could probably run a lower boost pulley when I do go to a pro charger to make. I'd like to make around 800 wheel, all said and done. But in support of that, I've got to do some axles again. I'll put in a snip clip here of me doing axles. I've blown through 3 sets of axles now on this car since you guys have last seen it. So I'm saving up for Renegade axles. I'm also saving up for a I think I'm gonna go with the Dana 60. It's just a lot cheaper than the 4 9-inch, and a lot of people say that the Dana is stronger, but I don't know. That's debatable, from what I've read. The big thing that you get with the 9-inch is gear selection, but I'm gonna go boosted. So the biggest gear I'm gonna put in this thing right now is a 410 NA, and I might even go back down to like a 345 like stock or that type of gearing, because when I do that, because when you go to boost, it's just going to blow the tires off if you're on a 410 gear. So, I mean, it already is blowing the tires off NA at 450, so there's no point in me adding more power to that gear. It's just not, you're not going to be able to put it down. So, all right, guys, so we did get a lot done today. Got the radio fixed and the sway bar end links fixed. I don't really cover that. I may have put a snippet of me working on it here earlier. And we also got the tail light replaced. Next up on this is I gotta get the back driver's side seatbelt clip thing, the clicker, fixed, because that's broken, and I may just need to have to tear that apart and get it put back together the right way. Need to get two new tail lights ordered for this. Some pads and rotors are due, because this thing kind of vibrates when you're coming to a stop, and get that oil pan gasket leak fixed, so that'll be in a future episode. But yeah, and then on this we got the ground cable attached. Got some more voltage out of the charging systems. Hopefully that helps. I may have a parasitic parasitic loss, or I don't know, just a drain on it. So I'm gonna build the rear end and get that intake manifold and those heads ported. So now that I've got the Explorer, I can do that now, because this isn't doing daily duty anymore. This pretty much just sits in the garage unless it's the weekend, and even then it's most of the time I don't be taking it out very often. So I'm just trying to get it ready for to be more reliable racing. So for now, while it's not boosted, it's going to be getting new tires as well. I've got new pads ordered. This is all to kind of set it up for road course, so I'll be doing that with it while it's not boosted, and I'll be saving up to get that Dana rear end put in. When I do the Dana, I'll also be saving up for the Pro Charger to get that done. So it'll be in this one for a while, and then we'll get the Dana and the rear, or the Dana and the Pro Charger after that. So yeah, we'll be set up for drag racing. So, but anyway, guys, I'll see you in the next video.